Today was not intended to be a Sunday moment. We actually were supposed to be well into a Saturday moment. And we did. We actually did have a Saturday moment, and we recorded on a Saturday. But as life and sometimes technology would have it, the video that was streamed yesterday for a Moment of Harmony had a lot of audio issues, and I felt like throw the whole thing away, right? It's so much of the majority of the end of the video, you can't even hear it. So thank you for all of those that bared in, because when I did check in, there still were a lot of views with the video. So thank you for all of those that bared with it and was like, we're still going to just try to check it out. But because, of course, I love you, and the most important thing is the message, I wanted to still make sure you all got your moment this week. So I'm tuning in from a mommy getaway, a mommy runaway. I'm tuning in today to just making sure we just get a moment before I roll it back here, okay? But really what we were talking about is that pretty much at a Moment of Harmony, we are in a reflection series. We are looking back at it. We are going back into our traumas, into our pains in a very divine and intentional way. We are using reflection as a tool and as a guide towards healing and becoming better and truer to ourselves, growing ourselves, and really, really, really being consistent about it. So we are in a 33-week series and still moving through it. We took a break for the 100 moment countdown. We had 10 weeks of magnifying moments for 100 moment countdown, and we came back to reflecting, and we've been reflecting for a couple of weeks now. So today's session or episode, whichever I was going to say, today's session is entitled Reflect on the View, and it is what yesterday's stream was also entitled, and it contains some of the similar content for all of those that were able to hear some of yesterday's. But again, because yesterday's was so wonky, I was like, my moment exchanges deserve better. We're gonna get our moment. You know what my mama say, come hell, come high water, right? So reflect on the view. And I decided for us to go into talking about reflecting on the view because I see that we're in the beginning of February, and the first month of the year went by very quickly. And a lot of us were I am hearing in my comings and goings, I'm hearing a lot of us just kind of feel like a little bit discouraged, right? All of this momentum, like normally, a lot of momentum at the beginning of the year, a lot of excitement and goals and setting things and just believing in yourself and ready for new chapters and giving yourself another chance and just like boosting yourself up. And then 30 days pass and some of these things haven't popped off the way you want them to do. For some of us, the year won't even start to look as productive as the work we're actually doing every day until the spring, right? But it can discourage us. It can begin to discourage us. And so I was like, look, I know that something is trying to intervene with my moment yesterday, but we're going to get this in because I want everyone that is working hard on themselves and believing in themselves and loving themselves to life. I want them to be able to have this moment with me. So I'm going in to reflect on the view. And I broke view down in an acronym: vision, inspiration, evolution, and wisdom. VIEW. Vision, inspiration, evolution, and wisdom. And I wanted us to really take some time to look at ourselves in this very, very, very serious way about how are you viewing yourself when you're getting through your goals and you set these grand goals for more money, more prosperity, more health, more of your desires being met in your life, more love, more happiness, more joy, whatever you want to fit in, whatever credit score you want to have, whatever amount you want in your bank account, wherever you're going with everything. I just feel like, are we getting to a point where we're starting to get a little bit discouraged? I don't want that. If that's what we're getting because it's February, we're in the beginning, the first week of February, and it's the first moment of February, I want to make sure we are not getting ourselves stuck into that type of a place. So, view. When you are looking at the goals that you have set for yourself, when you are looking at the healing and the measure that you are putting on healing, I want you to look at it with a certain view. Look at it with a divine view. Vision, inspiration, evolution, and wisdom. Vision is, how are you seeing what you're seeing? There is a picture that you're trying to make it to, and I want you to make sure that as long as your vision is intact, I don't want you to feel like I'm not accomplishing what I want to accomplish. Things aren't moving the way that I want them to move it. Focus on your vision. Are you in a reality that is in alignment with your vision? I'm not saying have you created this, vision board. I'm not saying have you put the first installment on your new house. I'm saying, is your vision still intact? A lot of us will begin to lose momentum. A lot of us will begin to start spending that money that we put to the side. Or you may have had to. You may have had an emergency and you had to spend the money. Anything can come when you start to dream, right? When we start to dream, there's a lot of things that want to come and wake you up. There's a country song that I love that says, you better chase your dreams because a dream won't chase you back, right? That's very true. It's not going to chase you back. You're going to have to go up after that. And my thing is, in going after it in yourself, when you're looking back on the things, when you have fears and pains or anxieties and stagnations that begin to like slow you down, are you looking back appropriately? Are you looking back saying, hey, when I'm checking in on my view, when I'm checking in on my vision, am I looking back, Ashe? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm reading. Y'all know I'm trying. Somebody wrote a whole lot and I can't read their name. I'm so sorry because I want to respond to you, but I can't read. I can't see everything. So, but blessings and welcome to a Moment of Harmony. I will say that when you're looking back and you're trying to be like, how am I? When I look back at the times I've tried to accomplish things, some of us don't have faith in ourselves. Some of us haven't listened to ourselves. We haven't always honored ourselves. Some of us have fallen under the influence of our environments time and time again. We have made so many not great choices. I was listening to India Irie this morning saying, she was saying, I have not listened to myself in the song I was listening to this morning. I'm not listening to myself, and I'm so grateful for all the chances that the Creator have given me because I have, pretty much let myself down. And I'm saying when we are going back in that way, that is the way that we're supposed to be intending to look at the vision. When you didn't make it, right? When you set that goal of weight loss, or when you set that goal of reading this book, or when you set that goal to enroll in this class and you were unsuccessful at it, it is because at a lot of points in time, I believe that the reality of your situation, I know, starts to take place and you start to see that you just don't see the reflection of where I want to be and what I'm going through right now. Trust me, y'all, I get it, right? Mom Central. My life is 24/7 at the service of all these little people. But I have great and grand goals. And I am still on providing and making sure everybody is okay on top of these things that I really want to accomplish for myself. And sometimes you can just get so discouraged. And this is how I check myself. And this is what I want to extend to you when it comes to being like, hey, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if that's going to happen this year. If you're starting to get into this place, adjust your view. I want you to adjust your view, starting with your vision. Is your vision still what it is? If it's there, as long as you have it, you have a place to work towards. As long as you still have a view, you have something in store to grow. As long as you can see it, you can move it. You got it? So my thing is your vision. Now, here is your inspiration, right? Are you having, so when it comes to vision, we also have to think about in the day-to-day right now, in your reality, are you living a reality that honors your vision? Are you living in a reality that reflects your vision? Are you going out with people that aren't a part of the vision that you see? You know what I'm saying? Are you friends with benefits when you have a vision of marriage and union and empire building and legacy? A quick way to keep ourselves from being discouraged is to stop and adjust the view. This is what it is that I am working towards. Am I not saving my money, but I have this house vision, right? I see this house warming and all of my friends and family in my new home clearly. I see myself doing my running my own business, but I'm not doing the work. I'm not watching the vlogs. I'm not reaching out and networking to people about just the information that I need to gather. I'm not even in my gathering stage. Are you in a reality that is going to honor your vision? Adjust your view if you're starting to feel discouraged. Your inspiration. Does your life inspire you? And I know a lot of times we want to think of inspiration like fantasy and desire, like it's a childhood privilege. And what I am here to tell you today is that inspiration is not a childhood privilege, it is a manifestation necessity. Inspiration is a manifestation necessity. Are you engaging in energies and exchanging in energies that inspire you on a daily basis? I talked yesterday when I did attempt to do this stream. We talked about how we have some things that inspire us. It may be church or school. It may be some other religious practice or ritual, or it may be something you do once a week that helps you feel motivated. And my thing is that it's insufficient by itself. And that's why I always am thanking you all for allowing me to be a part of your self-care routine, because it is just that. It is a routine. You should have things that inspire you around you all the time. A once a week inspiration will make your inspiration week. It will make your reality and your fruition and your manifestations week. A once a week inspiration will make your manifestations week. Everything you're connected to should be inspiring you. Everything, your children should be inspiring you. Your place of where you go to create resource should be inspirational to you. Your friends, they should be inspirational. Your circles, your sisters, your brothers, the love of your life, all of these things. We should be at a point now that if it doesn't inspire, I talked about this, every single thing that grows from stimulation. When we think about hair has to be stimulated in order to grow. When we think about a plant or agriculture, these things are stimulated, watered, planted, gardened. These things take place in order for them to grow. And so stimulation is absolutely necessary on a regular basis. Do you have consistent stimulants? And I'm not talking about external artificial stimulants like social media or the TV or the magazine that you read. Or I'm saying you can have things that inspire you or expose you on different levels, but you need constant inspiration. Consistent inspiration on my everyday. My work, my place of employment inspires me, whether it is the people, whether it is the goals I set, what is the conversations that I have with management, whatever it is, it inspires me to move towards my vision. Is my vision inspired? When I'm losing momentum towards where I'm going, is my vision still in place? And then am I inspired towards the vision? Is my vision still in place? And do I have a regular daily base of inspiration? Are my goals being stimulated by where I am, how I am, who I'm around, what I'm thinking, what I'm consuming? If you are starting to lose your momentum, if you are starting to lose sight of your goals and your view, I want you to adjust your view. Adjust it, right? So your vision, how is it still being honored? Yes, month 2 into 2024. For those that are also aware of this calendar, I know that there's multiple, I know about time, but for those that are in this time frame as well, month number 2, which by the way is February and my favorite month. February is my birthday month. Happy birthday to my King Buddha, King. He just turned 10 on Friday. My birthday month, it is Black History Month. It is Akoma Day month. I am all the way in love with February. Month 2 in February if you are beginning to lose those goals, if you are beginning to lose sight of the chapter you're in, if chapter 2024 is not looking the way you're looking and you're getting a little bit distracted, you're getting a little bit mundane into the bills, into the plans, into the things that need to take place, I want to come in today and say, adjust your view. Always just feel free. Always just when you're starting to get down, always when you're starting to have doubt and distraction. Thank you so much. I want you to say, I'm going to adjust my view, my vision, my inspiration, and now my evolution. Am I growing? Am I growing every day? Because that type of stagnation will help you, or I wouldn't even say help, will trap you into being complacent. That type of stagnation will trap you into complacency in a very destructive way that moves you away from the momentum and the motion towards your greater self. And the whole reason we want this moment is because we want to move towards our greater and better selves. We want to always be motivated to become the next level of the existence. I am excited for the next level of existence in the life of harmony. I am excited about the next level of being me. And I want you to be excited. And I am encouraging you and praying towards you that type of excitement. What is next for the next level of yourself? And are you evolving? Because it's so easy to get on a treadmill or a hamster wheel and feel like you're doing something and nothing at all. Like a poem that I put out a little bit ago, being on a stationary swing. Swinging back and forth, going high and low, but a swing is stationary. So my thing is, I don't want you to feel that way. I don't want my moment members to be caught up in such vicious cycles as we enter new chapters and extraordinary possibilities. I want us to be able to face them. I want us to be able to race them and beat them. I want us to tackle them down and to conquer as the royal conquerors that we are. So when it comes down to the evolution, how do we know when we're outgrowing things? How do we know, or I'm going to say evolving? We know when we're evolving. For example, I know when some of my undergarments feel tight. I know, like, girl, you're probably doing too much, okay? I'm outgrowing this. A shirt feels tighter than it used to be. Pants feel looser than they used to feel. Something feels a little different. We know that evolution is taking place because we can feel it in material and physical form. But what about spiritual and emotional forms of evolution? You want to be able to check in that they are not as easy to assess if you're not being intentional about assessing them. So that's what I'm saying. When you think you're not making the progress that you're making, when you're thinking that the year isn't unfolding and blossoming as quickly as you would like it to, or moving in the direction that you would like it to be moving in, I would like you to accurately assess your evolution. Are there things that you would say today that you wouldn't have said a week ago? Evolution. Is there a way that you would do something now that you probably wouldn't have tried 2 or 3 months ago? Your evolution is not small. And when you are looking at this big grand, I want to be married by this time, or I want to lose this amount of weight, or I want to buy this house or this car, I want to do this big thing. And I'm like moving towards it, and I'm getting discouraged because all of this is going to take so much time. You're losing your focus because you lost your view. Analyze your evolution. I mean, what's the credit score hitting? You know, I know you want to buy the big house, but how much progress have you made on that? If you made some progress on that and that has changed, and girl, king, do your thing. You know, do your thing. Trust your thing. Trust your way. So I really want to encourage us in that way as well when we're talking about evolution, when we're talking about assessing it in a way that keeps us moving forward. If you're starting to feel slowed up, if you're starting to feel stagnant, if you're starting to feel a little bit restless about where you're going, I want you to look back at it with an appropriate view. Reflect on your view, your vision, your inspiration, and your evolution. I promise you, you're moving somewhere, even if it's just watching your moment today. You're doing something towards where you're going, and that means you're absolutely going to get there. Vision, inspiration, evolution, and now your wisdom. Wisdom, this has got to be one of my favorite parts, and not just because it's one of my son's names, but it's got to be one of my favorite parts of adjusting the view. Because a lot of times when we look back over things that we've gone through, when we look back over our pitfalls and our barriers, boundaries, self-inflicted limitations and things like that, a lot of times when we look back on it, we're looking back on our failures. And I am saying that as you're moving forward, as you're pushing yourself towards what it is that you want, I want you to just assess when you're thinking about failures, because they're real. Falling is real. Mistakes are real. Seasons, what is it called? Spiritual warfare, those seasons are real. But what I want you to really be able to properly assess when you're looking back on things like that, I want you to be able to say, we have this saying with the children, me and my sister, where sometimes we'll be like, but did you die? When they're being very dramatic, like, oh, he hit me, or I didn't, but did you die? And I want us to use wisdom in this way. I want that when we're assessing where we're going and when we're assessing where we've been, I want us to be able to assess it in a way that we have more wisdom than we do regrets. No, everything didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. Everything didn't unfold the way that we planned. Everything was not what we wanted it to be. But did you learn? That's the question that I want us to be able to ask ourselves. But did you learn? And do you have wisdom over regret? Failed marriages, failed relationships, lessons in parenting, lessons in growing and stimulating resource and finance, lessons in prosperity, lessons in health and awareness and growing and stuff. But did you learn? Your wisdom is a great part of your view. And sometimes you will think that you're not going somewhere. You will think that you aren't who you need to be or who you should be if you aren't adjusting your view. If you aren't appropriately looking into how much wiser you've become. Why are you afraid about if you'll get where you have to get? Look at where you've come from. Look at what you've gained. Look at what you've retained. And at this point, I want us to just be able to say, I have a lot more wisdom than I have regrets. Have you been traumatized? Have you been hurt? Are you broken down? No, I'm experienced. I'm conditioned. I've been challenged, but I have wisdom. I have more wisdom than I do regrets because it is all moving me to my next level of self, which I'm just very excited to be in. I'm excited to be in the next level of my existence. Therefore, I will not allow anything. I don't care how someone else is moving, where someone else is moving, what I've been through, how many times I've fallen or failed in the past. I am not going to allow anything to keep me from being excited and motivated for chapter 2024. I am not going to get into March and April and May and start to be like, same old, same old. This year kind of same script, different cast. We're not going that way, right? We're not moving in that direction. We are being very, very intentional. We are being very, very, when we start to feel the big D word, that depression, which is really oppression. My Wally movie used to always say it's really oppression. When we start to feel, sorry, y'all, I feel like something was something was in my mouth. When we start to feel like things aren't, I don't know, I'm kind of losing some hope. I'm losing some perspective. I'm losing some fire. I'm losing some tenacity and some motivation. We're having a moment. And this moment is here for me to tell you, pause. For who? For why? Adjust your view, my love. Adjust your view. If it's not looking the way you want it to look, if it's not moving the way you want it to move right away, adjust your view. How is your vision? How is it being honored? How are you in alignment with it? How is it still in place? Then I think you're in a really good position if it is. How about your inspiration? Are you changing them? Are you modifying them to fit where you are today? Are you consistent and intentional? Are you not engaging or wasting any space or energy that doesn't inspire you towards where you're going? And then what about your evolution? Are you growing every day? Like, are you really growing, and are you appropriately assessing that? Are you stopping to say, you know what? I don't care. I used the example yesterday when I recorded this, attempted to record this yesterday. I used the example of peanut M&Ms, and how I used to be addicted to them. And then one day I just thought about the amount of, no slight to anyone who loves peanut M&Ms, I was addicted to them. But I started to think about the amount of color of the shell, and I just was like, I don't know that I should be putting that in my body. It's definitely not natural, and it's definitely a color. And I just stopped. I just stopped. And my thing is, evolution works that way. Evolution works one moment at a time. And to give yourself the grace for that type of evolution. Now, I haven't had an M&M in a month, in a year. I haven't had a actual M&M. I still get my chocolate covered peanuts because I need those. But I get them from more natural places with just chocolate and peanuts without the dye on it. I just was like, it just can't be a really good thing to be shoving all this blue and red and yellow. I just don't know how natural this is, you know? And now if I were to even taste the M&M, if I eat a cookie with an M&M, it tastes like paint for me. Because I made one slight move that adjusted my taste buds and changed slight. Assess your evolution. Are you growing, and are you looking at it appropriately? Are you measuring yourself up against a major goal instead of all the stepping stones and the moments that you're succeeding in moment by moment, day by day? Appropriately assess. Appropriately assess your evolution. I guarantee you that if you are being intentional, and you started off intentional in this year, if you were intentional last year about being your best self, I'm not saying you didn't slow down or stop or get discouraged. What I am saying is that I promise you, you've been making progress every day. Whether it's saying I love you more, whether it's using less profanity, whether it's eating a little bit cleaner, whether it's being more intentional about what time you go to bed, putting in more work. I'm saying evolution can be measured. And make sure you're measuring yours in a way that is moving you towards the momentum of your manifestations. And then your wisdom. No, it's not always working out the way you want it to be. It hasn't always unfolded. But aren't you wiser for the things that didn't work out? Rascal Flatts, one of my favorite country music groups, has a song that, God Bless the Broken Road That Led Me Straight to You. One of my favorite songs by them. I actually love Rascal Flatts all the way around, but one of my favorite songs by them. Aren't you wiser? Are you not better for what you've grown through? What have you been growing through? And isn't it making you wiser? And when you're starting to doubt yourself, criticize yourself, condemn yourself, deny yourself, I want you to stop and say, but are you wiser? But did you learn? You know what? We go back into those pitfalls. Well, the last time you tried to save this amount of money, or the last time you tried to be vulnerable and open to someone in a romantic situation, or the last time you tried to, set better examples for your children. But did you learn? Okay, then it was worth it. You learned, and you're in a better place, and lean in on your wisdom. Lean in on your wisdom. I promise you it's working for you. It's working for you in all these stages that gets you to this big and beautiful place that you will be getting to. I want everyone that is in month 2 of this brand new year to give yourself some month 2 grace about this brand new year. Put a beautiful month 2 smile on your face, because what have you think you're supposed to have done already? Listen, give yourself the grace and the time and the love that you give every single thing else in your life, which is a lot. A lot of patience, a lot of love, and a lot of time. You are moving. I know you are, because you're here enjoying a moment with me. So we're moving. I know I'm a mover and a shaker. So we're aligning in this moment as movers and shakers. You're going somewhere. If you feel like you aren't, I promise you, adjust your view. Check your vision. Create your inspirations. Appropriately analyze your evolution and lean in on your wisdom. Adjust your view. I love you all so much. This has been another Moment of Harmony. It was a quick moment because I am on a mommy runaway. So I am about to go and run away into my day and do more of what lifts me up and makes my moments bright, because it's needed. Life do be lifing. I love you all so much, and I'll see you for another Moment of Harmony next week, Saturdays at 10 a.m. And then if that changes, you will find out on my social media platforms of Instagram and Facebook. I love you all so much. Take such wonderful good care of yourself, and absolutely go on and take care of somebody else.